Friday, December 13th. In London, Churchill's government contemplates unleashing devastating attacks on the German city of Mannheim, an important railway hub and inland port, in retaliation for the destruction of Coventry and Sheffield. In Berlin, Hitler broadcasts over the radio his Directive No. 20, which includes Operation Marita, the invasion of the Balkans by the armies of the Third Reich. With this, he intends to strengthen the position of his troops in Romania and Hungary to invade Yugoslavia and to support the Italian army in Albania, following the failed invasion of Greece, to occupy the country and take hold of the British bases on the Greek islands. The Führer believes that the 24 Wehrmacht divisions will be enough to carry out a successful operation. In Vichy, France, Marshal Pétain, aware of Hitler's plans to occupy the whole of France, Operation Attila, dismisses and orders the arrest of Vice President Pierre Laval for his secret dealings with Göring in relation to Britain. Pétain has lost all hope of signing a peace treaty with the Third Reich and is conscious that more than 2 million French are still prisoners in German concentration camps where they are being used as forced labor. In Nassau, New Providence, in the Bahamas, the Duke of Windsor, the British governor of the island, meets President Roosevelt, who was touring the Caribbean on the cruise ship Tuscaloosa. They discuss the American proposal of establishing bases in the Antilles. Saturday, December 14th. Vice Admiral Karl Donitz, head of the U-boat Waffe, expresses his concerns that the submarine production quota is not being achieved to a meeting of naval commanders. He also criticizes the lack of effective coordination between the Luftwaffe and the Kriegsmarine. In London, King George VI celebrates his 45th birthday. There is a government crisis in Vichy, France, where Pierre-Étienne Fladin replaces Laval in charge of foreign affairs. In the Greek-Italian War, major confrontations take place along the banks of River Oshun in southern Albania. Puerto Rico receives economic aid from the American government as promised in an agreement that includes the building of a U.S. base on the islands. The Turkish government starts to withdraw some of its forces deployed along the Bulgarian border. Nevertheless, a state of emergency still exists in the Bosphorus and Dardanelles region. In North Africa, the fighting goes on in the Cyrenaica region of Libya between the Italians and the Allies. Mussolini's forces try to stall the advance of the British, but to date, more than 20,000 Italians have been captured with most of their weaponry. In the naval war, U-100, commanded by Joachim Schipka, sinks the British merchant ships Euphorbia and Kielglen, while Heinrich Willebach's U-96 sends the Empire Razorbill to the bottom of the ocean. Sunday, December 15th. In North Africa, the Italian troops that occupied Egyptian territory have been driven out. The next British objective is Bardia, on the road to Tobruk. Though Mussolini's orders to General Rodolfo Graziani, the governor of Libya, are to prevent the coastal city from falling in the hands of the Allies. In accordance with Hitler's wishes, the remains of Napoleon II, the Duke of Reichstadt, arrive from Vienna at the Austerlitz station in Paris. The coffin is taken to Les Invalides for burial with the honors of state alongside his father's tomb. the Vichy government strip Pierre Laval of his posts and keep him under house arrest. In the Battle of Britain, the Luftwaffe bombs the English Midlands. London and strategic targets to the south of the country are also heavily hit. For its part, the RAF carries out raids against Germany, attacking Berlin, Frankfurt, the Kiel shipyards, and the industrial area of Bremen. Dockyards and airfields in the Netherlands and the submarine base of Bordeaux in France are also bombed. In the Greek-Italian War, the Greek armies continue their advance through Albania and continue to bombard the port and city of Valona, Vlore, in the mouth of the Adriatic Sea. Monday, December 16th. British planes mercilessly pound the German industrial city of Mannheim, located at the confluence of the rivers Rhine and Neckar. In London, former Prime Minister Lloyd George meets Winston Churchill, who offers him the chance of becoming ambassador to the United States following the death of Lord Lothian. George turns down the offer, however, due to his age. In Moscow, Stalin's government orders the defenses of the naval base at Sebastopol to be reinforced. In Vichy, France, Marshal Pétain informs Hitler of the reasons for Pierre Laval's dismissal, while thanking him for ordering the removal to Paris of the remains of the Duke of Reichstadt, the son of Napoleon. In North Africa, the Allied troops arrive at the city of Salem in western Egypt. They cross the Libyan border and force the Italian forces to withdraw along the coastal road. Meanwhile, British ships and planes bombard the city of Bardia, which is besieged from both land and sea. Several Regia Marina submarines undertake an attack against the Royal Navy ships, and the cruiser Coventry is severely damaged. In East Africa, fighting breaks out in Assab in Eritrea, on the west coast of the Red Sea. In the Battle of the Atlantic, 400 miles off the Irish coast, U-46 torpedoes the British vessel Western Prince, which was carrying the Canadian Minister of Munitions and Supply, Clarence Howe. Tuesday, December 17th. In Washington, President Roosevelt addresses the American people in one of his fireside chats, determined to convince them of the need to abandon the isolationist policy followed since the First World War. Making reference to the situation of Britain, he asks his audience to, "Suppose my neighbor's home catches fire, and I have a length of garden hose. If he can take my garden hose and connect it up with his hydrant, I may help him to put out his fire." He goes on to say he would lend it to him and not ask him to pay for it immediately. The important thing is to smother the flames. He would later ask for the hose to be returned. America's best defense is a victorious Britain, he tells his audience. In Berlin, Hitler meets Alfred Jodl, chief of the operations staff of the Armed Forces High Command, and warns him that Europe must be under the control of the Third Reich by 1941, as the United States will be ready to join the war by 1942. British bombers renew their attacks against the German city of Mannheim and its industrial area. In France, bombing raids target the German submarine base in the Atlantic coast. Meanwhile, the Luftwaffe confines itself to reconnaissance missions. In North Africa, the Allied armies occupy the cities of Salem and Fort Capuzzo. Heavy fighting takes place in the region of Bardia, while British ships and planes attack strategic objectives along the Libyan coast up to Tobruk. Wednesday, December 18th. Hitler issues Directive No. 21, in which he orders the preparation of Operation Barbarossa, the definitive name given to the invasion of the Soviet Union, which has been known in military circles as Otto and Fritz. The Führer has chosen to name the operation after the Emperor of the First German Reich. The operation, in the first instance, aims to occupy the cities of Leningrad and Kiev and the coastal areas of the Baltic Sea. These actions will be carried out by the Northern and Central armies. They will then advance towards Moscow. Apart from Grand Admiral Raeder, the top military commanders are satisfied with Hitler's plan, even though they do not believe the invasion of Russia will be a pushover. In the Greek-Italian War, the Duce's armies withdraw towards Klissura in central Albania, while British planes bomb the island of Rhodes and Astypalia in the Dodecanese archipelago in the Aegean Sea. In Washington, President Roosevelt tells a press conference about his ideas on how to aid Britain. America's best defense is to help Britain, he says. The Americans will give the British all they need through the lease system, and once the war is over, the aid will be repaid in raw materials. In North Africa, fighting continues between Allied and Italian troops in the region of Bardia. Meanwhile, in the eastern area, Italian planes bomb Port Sudan and the British carry out incursions in El Wak, Somalia.